Can you just repeat like those two lines? I couldn't hear.
Okay, beta. Caudate nucleus is nothing but it's a part of basal ganglia. What are
Mm,
basal ganglia? It is nothing but the gray matter which is situated inside the white matter of cerebrum. When you
mm,
see the cut section of cerebrum, outside we have gray matter, inside we have white matter. But
mm,
inside white matter also we have collection of gray matter which is called as basal ganglia. Okay,
mm,
or
mm.
basal nuclei. So in that we have three components: thalamus, lentiform nucleus, and caudate nucleus. Now our question is, among
Or
these three, caudate nucleus is asked. Okay, caudate nucleus. So actually caudate nucleus and lentiform nucleus together we use the word corpus striatum. Corpus striatum. Now let us see. See this sky blue colored area what you have here is what? Lateral ventricle. Do you
mm,
remember it has anterior horn, it has posterior horn, it has inferior horn, right?
mm.
Emma?
Yes, ma'am.
Huh. See, deep just below this lateral ventricle, this particular area, what you are finding, that bluish area, you have is caudate nucleus. This one.
Mm,
So it has head, it has body, and then it has tail. Tail of the caudate nucleus is related to amygdaloid body.
mm,
Okay,
mm,
amygdaloid body, which forms the part of limbic system. Limbic
mm,
system is an area which is concerned with making of emotions, okay, friendship,
mm,
everything, different types of emotions, they are all under the control of limbic system. Okay, beta. So caudate nucleus you can describe by looking at this blue color. Okay, this dark blue comparatively. Okay, you just look at this, and of course it will have certain, see how it is related to lateral ventricle, like superiorly, inferiorly. See, head is related to the anterior horn of lateral ventricle. Okay, body is related to the posterior horn, and the tail is related to the inferior horn, like that.
mm,
Just look at this picture and just write about this caudate nucleus. Okay, small explanation only. And we have seen, suppose if you remember internal capsule, this is our internal capsule, right? This gateway, which is bounded inferiorly
mm,
by thalamus, superiorly by caudate nucleus, laterally by lentiform nucleus. This, of course,
mm,
internal capsule is another answer.
mm.
Okay, that finishes these questions. Okay, but we have many more. Carotid sheath. What is carotid sheath? These 2 marks we can generally discuss just like that. Thickening of deep fascia around the great vessels of the neck is nothing but carotid sheath. Okay,
Mm,
around the internal jugular vein and the common carotid artery. Common carotid artery, further it bifurcates into external and internal carotid arteries.
mm,
Anterior wall of carotid sheath will have ansa cervicalis. Posteriorly, it will have vagus nerve. More behind, we have sympathetic chain. Just refer this
mm,
answer. We discussed many times. It is given in the deep fascia of neck. What is insula? It is the, basically we have four lobes in cerebrum. No?
mm,
Frontal lobe, temporal lobe, parietal lobe, and occipital lobe. Frontal,
mm,
parietal, temporal, occipital. But if you
mm,
just retract the lateral sulcus of the brain, you will see inside there is a hidden lobe which is called as insula. Okay,
mm,
hidden fifth lobe is insula. Okay, there we have, there also we have the sulci and gyrae. Okay,
mm,
names are given: gyra longa, gyra brevia. Depressions are sulci and elevations are gyra. Okay,
mm.
then sensory decussations, where do we find the sensory decussations? It is found,
Spinothalamic tract.
yes beta.
Spinothalamic tracts.
Yeah, very good. Spinothalamic
Crossing.
tracts, excellent. Okay, at which level?
Near medulla oblongata.
Excellent, beta.
Lower
Excellent.
body.
Yeah, very good. In one of the sections of spine, like medulla oblongata, you will come across sensory decussation. Very good. This is, of course, from embryology. If you remember, cervical cyst.
Mm,
Cervical cyst is See, during the development of this sternocleidomastoid muscle area is there, no? In that particular area, sometimes there may be an outgrowth, a cyst-like formation. Okay, that is cervical cyst. It's a very short answer of 2 to 3 lines only. Okay, so we finished surgical neck of the humerus. It's related to which nerve?
Axillary.
Which axillary nerve? Very good.
Axillary.
Axillary nerve. What happens if surgical neck of the humerus is fractured? Axillary nerve supplies which
That's
muscle?
contraction. Deltoid.
Deltoid. So deltoid is paralyzed. The skin which is supplying in the lower area of the deltoid is also becoming senseless because it gives sensory distribution to this area. That badge is regimental badge. Okay, person will not be able to do overhead abduction 90 degrees because of the damage. Any more muscle which is supplied by axillary nerve, Hema?
Um, uh, I don't know. I forgot.
Teres major, right?
Okay.
Very good. Okay, beta. So very short. Then we have essay coming from ulnar nerve. Okay, ulnar nerve comes from which cord of brachial plexus, beta?
The posterior.
Oh, it is teres minor, I guess, but I'm little confused. Surgical neck of humerus. Okay, now we will go with upper limb textbook. So from which cord of brachial plexus you have ulnar nerve?
Medial cord. Medial, I think.
Yeah.
Medial cord.
Yeah. From medial cord, we have 4MU is the code, right? Medial cutaneous nerve of the arm, medial cutaneous nerve of the forearm, no? Medial pectoral nerve, medial root of median nerve, and ulnar nerve, 4MU. As you said, it is medial cord of brachial plexus. Okay? Then, where is the ulnar nerve distribution, beta? Directly, I will take you there only then because you have some idea.
Ma'am, axillary nerve, you were right, ma'am. Teres minor.
Teres minor only, no?
Yes, and deltoid. Yeah.
Teres minor. Okay, thank you, beta. Minor is above, major is below, and it is coming through that quadrangular space, isn't it? Along with posterior circumflex humeral vessels. From there only, when it comes out, it supplies deltoid and teres minor. Isn't it better?
Yes, ma'am.
Like that also we can remember easily, logically. This I wanted to show you. As Hema told us, this is ulnar nerve. This is our medial cord of brachial plexus.
Ma'am?
Yes.
Axillary nerve comes out through quadrangular space. Just because teres minor is above major, I mean teres major, you say it supplies minor.
It's closely related there only, no, beta. I will show you diagram. You will understand more clearly.
Okay.
This is our deltoid muscle, right?
Yes.
Upper triangular quadrant. These are the spaces, Hema. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
This is our axillary nerve. Okay. So here we have teres minor above and teres major below. So you can see axillary nerve is going and supplying deltoid, and then it is supplying the teres minor.
Okay.
Isn't it? So logically, to remember, we can take this picture also into our mind so that sometimes minor, major, we get confused, isn't it? Minor is above, always minors are above, majors are below. Rhomboids, minor is above, rhomboids, major is below.
Okay.
Along the medial border of scapula also. Okay, ulnar nerve, tell me the distribution now. Ulnar nerve. Basically, ulnar nerve is supplying the intrinsic muscles of the palm. That's why it's called as musician's nerve. Isn't it better?
Yes.
Its course is ulnar nerve. It goes along the medial aspect of the arm Okay, then it pierces the medial intermuscular septa. It goes behind the medial epicondyle of the humerus. Then it is entering into the flexor compartment of the forearm. Okay, then it is running between the flexor digitorum superficialis and flexor digitorum profundus. Okay, lower down, what is the only muscle? It is supplying only two muscles in forearm. One is the flexor digitorum profundus and the other is flexor carpi ulnaris. That two flexor digitorum profundus only medial half. Flexor digitorum profundus is hybrid muscle. It is supplied by median nerve and ulnar nerve. Profundus means it is having four tendons which come to these four digits. Okay, two are supplied by ulnar nerve and two are supplied by median nerve.
Yes.
Okay, so its distribution, then it goes like here. What is the retinaculum we have here? Flexor retinaculum. Okay, it just runs over there. It enters into the palm. Once it enters into the palm, it supplies the intrinsic muscles of the palm. It is dividing into superficial branch and deep branch. This is our superficial branch, beta. How many fingers does it supply? 1.5 digit. Isn't it?
Yes.
Medial side of the little finger, lateral side of the little finger, medial side of the ring finger. 1.5 digits are supplied by the superficial branch of ulnar nerve. Rest you have the muscular branches. So muscular, what are the muscles of thenar compartment? You should remember the names now, beta. AFO is the code what I gave you. AFO. Abductor pollicis brevis, flexor pollicis brevis, opponens pollicis, AFO. Okay. Similarly, here also we have abductor digitae minimi, flexor digitae minimi, then opponens digitae minimi, AFO. Then it supplies only first and second lumbricals, because third and fourth lumbricals are sorry, it is supplying only third and fourth lumbrical beta, ulnar nerve. Okay, and it is supplying all palmar interossei and dorsal interossei. All palmar and dorsal interossei are supplied by ulnar nerve. Okay, so it is supplying the third and fourth lumbricals. Okay, it is supplying the adductor pollicis brevis. It is not supplying these three muscles. I am sorry, beta. The other three muscles of the thenar compartment are supplied by median nerve. Only the adductor pollicis is supplied by ulnar nerve. Okay, hypothenar, all the three are supplied. Abductor digitae minimi, then opponens digitae minimi, and flexor digitae minimi. Okay, so this is given nicely in the flowchart of appendix chapter. Whole thing is given. If ulnar nerve is damaged, what happens? It leads to claw hand.
Claw hand.
Yeah. Okay. So there is last chapter, complete information is given. Read once, you will understand it. Okay. Yeah, here beta. We did axillary nerve just now, right? Radial nerve. Okay, median nerve. Then you have ulnar nerve. Median. You can read from the flow chart. See branches of ulnar nerve. Muscular branches. Flexor digitorum profundus, flexor carpi ulnaris. Medial half only. Cutaneous. Medial half of the dorsum of the hand and 1.5 digits. Okay, medial. Okay, the blood vessels nearby, the digital vessels, media, the vessels which are forming the anastomosis around elbow joint, only on medial side. Okay, so superficial branch to palmaris brevis, deep branch to muscles of hypothenar eminence, two lumbricals. Okay, and four palmar interossei, dorsal interossei, and one adductor pollicis. Everything is summarized here. It becomes easy for you to read. Okay, and the course and all you read from the explanation which is given here, beta. Okay. and draw this picture. This is very good. Whatever I told you, it's given here, beta. Ulnar nerve, as Hema told, coming from the medial cord, medial side, passing behind the medial intermuscular septa, medial epicondyle of the humerus, entering into the forearm. Okay, supplying flexor digitorum profundus, flexor carpi ulnaris, then running over the flexor retinaculum, coming into the palm and supplying the hypothenar group of muscles. Thenar only one adductor pollicis, third and fourth lumbricals, four dorsal and four palmar interossea. This is deep branch, superficial branch goes and supplies 1.5 digits. Palmaris brevis is the superficial muscle what we see in the palm, even that is also supplied. Applied anatomy, what will you write? Claw hand. Okay. Pituitary gland, what will you write beta microscopic anatomy? It has anterior lobe, it has intermediate lobe, it has posterior lobe. Then in the anterior lobe, you should draw acidophils and basophils. Okay. We have chromophobe cells and chromophil cells. Chromophobe cells are inactive cells, whereas chromophil cells are actively working cells. Under chromophil cells only, we have acidophils and basophils, which are nothing but the cells which are concerned with the release of various hormones. What are the various hormones we have? The chief hormone is the growth hormone, which is directly acting in the anterior pituitary. Apart from that, we have follicle stimulating hormone, isn't it? Then thyroid stimulating hormone, adrenocorticotropic hormone, isn't it?
Prolactin.
Prolactin. Very good. Then intermediate lobe will show certain follicles and posterior lobe will show hypothalamo hypophyseal tracts. All white matter fibers we show usually in the posterior gland, because those are nothing but fibers which are coming from the hypothalamus to the posterior pituitary. Posterior pituitary is not synthesizing any hormones. The hormones of the hypothalamus are passing through hypothalamo hypophyseal portal system and entering into the posterior lobe of pituitary. What are the hormones we see here? Oxytocin.
Vasopressin and oxytocin.
Very good. ADH is also called as vasopressin, as you said, and oxytocin. Very good. Oxytocin is for milk ejection reflex and ADH is for reabsorption of water from renal tubules. Isn't it?
Yes, ma'am.
But I think we finished this paper now. Okay, beta, will you write the exam on Sunday?